All right, let's talk about something that affects basically every single one of us here in Singapore, MediShield Life. You've got it, I've got it, but do you really know how it all works? Let's peel back the layers and get into what this super important health shield actually does for you and your wallet. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big idea. What is this universal shield anyway? Then we'll dive right into the nitty-gritty. What's covered? How the bills actually get paid? What your options are if you want to upgrade? And we'll wrap up with a sneak peek at what's new and coming next. Sound good? Let's get started.
Okay, part one, your universal health shield. So, what's the big idea here?
Well, at its heart, think of MediShield Life as this giant safety net for everyone. And the key words here are universal and mandatory. That's right, this isn't something you can opt out of. From the moment you're a citizen or a PR, you're in. It's a core piece of our whole healthcare system, built to make sure a huge hospital bill doesn't wipe you out.
And this whole thing is built on three really powerful ideas. First, it's universal, and they mean it. Everybody is in. Second, it's lifelong. Your coverage doesn't just vanish when you get older, which is a huge deal. And maybe the most amazing part, it's comprehensive. It covers pre-existing conditions from the get-go. No ifs, ands, or buts.
All right, so that's the why. Now let's get to the what. When you actually need to use it, what does this shield really pay for? Let's break it down. So, at its core, MediShield Life is really built to handle those big, scary bills. We're talking about subsidized stays in public hospitals, in B2 or C-class wards. It also covers your day surgery costs and, crucially, those massive bills you might get from the intensive care unit, the ICU. But that's not the whole story. And this is something you've really got to get. It's not just for that one-off hospital stay. For a lot of people, the real financial stress comes from treatments that go on, month after month. And MediShield Life is designed to step in and help with that too. And that help can be a real game changer. I mean, just look at these numbers. For someone needing ongoing kidney dialysis, we're talking up to $1,750 a month. For some cancer drug treatments, it can go all the way up to $9,600 a month. These aren't just figures on a screen. For families facing these situations, that is a massive, massive relief. Now, on the flip side, it's just as important to know what the basic plan doesn't cover, right? So things like your ambulance ride, any cosmetic procedures, most of your dental appointments, and routine stuff like maternity charges or health screenings, those are generally not included. The focus is really squarely on those big, unexpected medical events. Okay, so we know what's in and what's out, but here's the million-dollar question. When that hospital bill actually lands, how much do you have to pay out of your own pocket? Let's walk through how it works. It's not like the government just writes a blank check. It's actually a cost-sharing system, and it's designed this way to make sure it's sustainable for everyone in the long run. It really boils down to three simple steps. Think of it like a relay race for paying your bill. In step one, you run the first leg by paying something called the deductible. Once that's done, you move to step two, where you share the load by paying a small percentage called coinsurance. And only then, for the final leg, does MediShield Life grab the baton and pay the rest of the bill, all the way up to the claim limits. So what on earth is a deductible? Honestly, it's just a fixed amount you have to cover first. But here's the key. You only pay it once per policy year. So, for example, for a stay in a Class C ward, that might be $1,500. If you pay that in January and you end up back in the hospital in June, you don't pay it again. You've already done your part for the year. Okay, so once you've covered the deductible, coinsurance kicks in. This is where you copay a small slice of what's left. But check this out. It's designed to protect you. The percentage you pay actually goes down as the bill gets bigger. It starts at 10% and can drop all the way to 3%. It's a built-in feature to stop your costs from just exploding if you have a really huge bill. Of course, none of this is free, right? We all pay for this coverage through annual premiums, and they're based on age. So someone in their 20s might pay around $295 a year. But as you get older, say into your 60s, the risk is higher, so the premium goes up. But, and this is a big but, there's a ton of help available to make sure you can afford this. And this is probably one of the most important parts of the whole system. The government doesn't just set the premiums and walk away. There's a whole web of support to keep them affordable. You've got basic subsidies for lower and middle income folks, special extra subsidies for our Pioneer and Merdeka generations, and even more support for those who are really struggling. It's a multi-layered approach. And all of that supports, all those subsidies, they all lead to this one fundamental promise. And it's a big one. No one will lose their MediShield Life coverage just because they can't afford to pay the premiums. The safety net is designed to catch everyone. Okay, so we've established that MediShield Life is the solid foundation for everyone. But what if you want more? What if you're thinking about a private hospital or maybe a Class A ward? Well, that's where upgrades enter the picture. This is where you have a choice. The basic MediShield Life plan is built for subsidized wards in public hospitals, and the premiums are designed to be fully payable with your MediSave. But if you want the option to go to a private hospital or an A or B1 ward, you can upgrade with what's called an integrated shield plan or an IP. These give you way higher claim limits, like up to $1.5 million a year, but the trade-off is, you guessed it, higher premiums, and you might have to top those up with cash. All right, last section. Let's look ahead. Because MediShield Life isn't some dusty old policy that never changes. It's actually a living thing, constantly being reviewed and tweaked to keep up with new medical treatments and rising costs. And you can see that evolution happening right now. Coming up in 2025, claim limits are getting a boost for hospital stays. Then there's a new health incentive kicking in. You can actually get premium discounts for staying healthy through the Healthy 365 app. And by 2026, a new outpatient deductible is coming in to make the whole system a bit more streamlined. And one of the biggest changes we've seen recently is this number right here, $200,000. The annual claim limit was $150,000, and now it's been bumped up to $200,000. That is a pretty significant increase in your protection, giving you that much more peace of mind. So why all these tweaks and updates? What's the endgame? Well, it's actually really simple and really important. The goal is to make sure that MediShield Life continues to do its job, which is to cover 9 out of every 10 subsidized hospital bills. It's all about keeping that core promise of affordable healthcare. So you see, your health shield is constantly evolving. It's getting stronger, it's adapting, and that leaves us with one final thought. As your shield gets smarter and better, is your understanding of it keeping up?